Lesson 13, 1.13 is on finding equivalent ratios given the total quantity, excuse me. But what we're going to be working on right now is we're going to be doing a lot with fractions and our equivalent ratios. But it's all going to always, as always lately, come back to finding our constant. So keep that in mind, even though the numbers are going to seem a little more confusing, just because they're fractions, we're going to still keep doing everything the same way. So this question here talks about a group of 6 hikers preparing for a 1-week trip. We have our hiker's weight and our backpack weight, and they're proportional to each other. What it says up here, the leader decides that each hiker will carry a backpack that is the same fraction of weight to the other hiker's weights. This means that the heaviest hiker will carry the heaviest load. They're going to have the same value of the ratio as the first two rows. So, first two rows. As always, I'm going to say that is our independent variable, the hiker's weight. The backpack weight is going to be dependent on the hiker's weight. How much the hiker weighs is how much the backpack is going to weigh. So that's why it's our dependent variable. And we'll come back to our total weight here in a second. And when I do this, I need us to find our constant. But before that, you're going to see, since we're dealing with pounds here and ounces, I want to rewrite these as fractions. Here's what I mean. There are 16 ounces in a pound. So this is 152 pounds, 152 and 4/16 ounces. Well, if I reduce 4/16, 4 goes into itself 1 time, 4 goes into 16 4 times. So this becomes 152 and 1/4. And for the sake of time, that's just what I'm going to go through and do with all of these. This would be 10/16 of a pound. So that's 107. And in simplest form, dividing both by 2, we get 5/8. Same thing, 15/16 of a pound. So that's 129, 29, and 15/16. And this again is 4/16, so that would be 68 and 1/4. 8/16 would reduce to a half, so that's 14 and a half. 4/16 is 1/4. I'm just changing these all into just pounds. This is going to be 8. 4 goes into both of these. 4 goes in 12 3 times. 4 goes in 16 4 times. And 10 we're going to leave alone. Okay, so again, all I did right here was change all of my ounces into pounds. So I want to start by finding my constant. I'm going to find my constant by going y divided by x. So in this case, I am going to go my y here of 14 and a half, and I'm going to divide it by my x value of 152 and 1/4. Same thing as we've been doing, so don't be intimidated by the fractions. Again, with these, remember we can't divide mixed numbers. We have to change them into improper fractions. So we go 14 times 2 and then plus 1. And if you want to take a calculator and go 14 times 2 plus 1, we get the wrong screen here. Sorry, guys. Which is 29. So this is going to be 29 over 2. Sorry, you're going to have to trust me because I don't know if I can get my calculator in the correct screen that we're doing right here. And I am going to do the same thing right here. And I'm going to go 4 times 152 plus 1. And then just trust me that that works out to be 609 over 4. Keep it, switch it, flip it. All right, so now let's cross reduce. 2 goes into itself 1 time, 2 goes into 4 2 times. Now, this might seem weird, so this is why you really can grab a calculator. If you divide 609 by 29, it actually goes into it. The only factors of 29 are 1 and 29, and so 29 goes into itself 1 time, 29 goes into 609 21 times. And I know that seems weird, so just grab a calculator. You don't need to try to figure out all that math. So we get 1 times 2, which is 2, and 1 times 21, which is 21. All right. I'm going to do this real quick with this next one, just so I can show you that it's a constant, and just for more practice. So I am going to take my y right here, 10 1/4, and I'm going to divide it by my x right here, 107 5/8. Now again, don't stress when you see this. Use a calculator if you need to. 4 times 10 is 40, plus 1 is 41. So this works out to be 41/4 divided by, and take my word on it, 8 times 107 plus 5, excuse me, is going to work out to be 861 over 8. And then we go, keep it, so I'm going to keep the 41 over 4, switch it, change the division sign to multiplication, flip it, 8 over 861. Now cross reducing here, what do 8 and 4 have in common? 4. 4 goes into itself 1 time, 4 goes into 8 2 times. And again, 41 is a prime number, only 1 and 41 go into it. But if you take 861 and divide it by 41, it goes in there 21 times. And then 41 goes into itself 1 time. Again, use a calculator, it's fine. This works out to be 2 over 21. So what does this all mean? This means that our constant k is 2 over 21. We could write an equation by saying y equals 2 over 21 times x. Or we can change the variables. Y, if you come up here, y is our backpack weight. So I could say that the backpack weight equals 2 over 21 times x, which is the hiker's weight. So maybe times h. So what this means is we're going to take everything in this column right here, and we're going to multiply it by 2 over 21. The hiker's weight times 2 over 21, that equals the backpack weight. If we're going over this way, though, the other way, then we divide. So what does that mean? Well, I'm going to take 129 and 15/16 here and multiply it by a constant, 2 over 21. So I'm going to do that down here. This is why there's lots of blank room on your note sheet. 129 and 15/16 times 2 over 21. And then guess what? Change everything into an improper fraction. If you were to go 16 times 129 plus 15, you would get 2,079 over the same denominator, 16, times 2 over 21. I'm struggling to write my 2's. I apologize. And then you can just cross reduce. 2 goes into itself 1 time, 2 goes into 16 8 times. And over here, again, if you divide 2,079 by 21, 21 goes into itself 1 time, goes into 2,079 99 times. So that works out to be 99 over 8. So 8 goes into 99 12 times. And then that's 96, and we'd have 3 of the 8s left over. So right here becomes 12 3/8 pounds. A lot of work with fractions, but we're still doing everything the same way. Okay. For the sake of time, well, no, we'll do this one real quick. I'm going to take 68 1/4, and I'm going to multiply it by 2 over 21. 4 times 68 plus 1, guys, and I'm going to just go a little bit faster, so if you need to pause to write anything down, you can. So if I go, and I have to make sure I can read my notes here correctly. All right, 4 times 68 plus 1 is 273 over, keep our denominator of 4, times 2 over 21. Cross reduce. You guys see how we're doing the same thing over and over? 21 goes into itself one time, 21 goes into 273. Oh, let's see. 13 times. So 13 times 1 is 13. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 goes into 13 6 times. That's 12, and there's 1/2 left over. Okay. Now, excuse me. Remember, if we go the other way, if I'm going from the hiker or the backpack weight, I have to divide. All right, so I'm going to take 834 and I'm going to divide it by my constant, 2 over 21. So rewrite it. 4 times 8 is 32 plus 3 is going to be 35 over 4 divided by 2 over 21. Keep it, but write the right number. Keep it, switch it, flip it. Cross reduce. And actually in this one, I don't think we can do any cross reducing. So if you multiply straight across, 35 times 21 is 735 over 4 times 2, which is 8. And 8 actually, if I were to divide these two, goes into 735 91 times, and then there's 7 of the 8 left over. And last one, really quick. Going that way, we're going to divide. I'm going to take 10, and I'm going to divide it by 2 over 21. Why 2 over 21? Because that's our constant. Right, it's 10 over 1, so I'm going to keep it, switch it, flip it. This time I can reduce. 2 goes into itself 1 time, 2 goes into 10 5 times. Again, if you need to pause because I'm going too quick, feel free. 5 times 21 is 105. And I'm dividing, well, that's just 1. So this just works out to be 105. The very last part of this, hopefully, is the easiest part. And in this part, this is where we're just going to add. And the reason we're going to add is because it wants the total weight. If I want a total weight of something, I add them. So I'm going to take 152 1/4 and add that to 14 1/2. But I need a common denominator, and I can rewrite 1/2 as 2/4. Same thing, but now I have the same denominator. 152 plus 14 is 166. 1/4 plus 2/4 is 3/4. So to get this last column, we are just going to add the work we've done together. 107 5 5/8. I'm going to do one more, and then I'm just going to fill it in for you. If you need help with this, please let me know. Again, I don't need 1/4. I need it to be out of 8. So if I double 1 and the 4, I get 2 8s. 107 plus 10 is 117. 5 8s plus 2 8s is 7 8s. So I hope you can see, and I'm just going to fill out the rest of this column here. I hope you can see that the work we're doing here, although it's a little more involved, it is the same work we've been doing. Find a constant and then use the equation or the idea of multiplying or dividing to find out your missing values in the table.